Hey everyone, Dr. Adam here with a topic that we all can definitely benefit from because we all breathe a thing called oxygen. I wanted to talk about oxygen and exercise, and we'll cover three topics specifically. One, lung expansion and how your lungs, obviously play a huge role in this. Your diaphragm, and then the exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide and how that can affect your physiology and ways that we can manipulate that with things like meditation, yoga, and breathing practices. So, one of the biggest takeaways from pulmonary physiology when I went to chiropractic school was that the greatest way to change pressure in your lungs is due to the adherence of the lungs against your rib cage, right? So when your rib cage expands and contracts, the lungs are, there's a lot of connective tissue that connect them to your rib cage, and your ribs, as they expand and contract, can act like an accordion and changing the pressure of your lungs to bring oxygen in and push oxygen out. Now, a thoracic or rib subluxation can definitely affect how we breathe. If you've ever had a rib out, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When a rib shifts out of alignment, it can press on an intercostal nerve. And when that nerve is pushed down upon, the body is going to guard that area, right? And not let that, area move as much, therefore restricting and limiting breath and how we can change the pressure in our lungs, as well as, causing an immense amount of pain. So getting a chiropractic adjustment can directly affect how you breathe. Now, as well as the adherence of the lungs to the rib cage, another way to change pressure in your lungs that is very important is your diaphragm moving up and down, up and down. And C3, 4, and 5 keep the diaphragm alive. That is your phrenic nerve that exits and goes all the way down to your diaphragm. And it's part of the autonomic nervous system. So you don't have to tell your diaphragm to move, to breathe. And, what can happen is over time or, different, injuries to the body can affect our diaphragm and how we move and how we breathe. But it's really essential to focus on diaphragmatic breathing and to increase the intra-abdominal pressure in your abdomen, right? So when you breathe in, the diaphragm should go down, thus increasing the pressure of this barrel of an abdomen, right? So if we use the diaphragm to push down and, that expands the lungs, increases that pressure. And then when we breathe out, the diaphragm goes up, allows our lungs to exhale air and, can decrease the pressure here. But now I wanted to use this poster because it really shows the shape of the lumbar spine, right? We need a 45-degree curve in that lumbar spine. And there's not a lot of muscles that help support this from the front, right? But increasing your intra-abdominal pressure and forcing air back this way can help to support your lumbar spine. We always want more mobility at the ankles, more stability at the knee, more mobility at the hips, and more stability of your lower back. So being able to increase your intra-abdominal pressure utilizing the diaphragm can help that. Now, also syncing your diaphragm with your breathing is really important to have it go down and up with your breath. Sometimes it can be going the exact opposite way that it needs to go. So retraining your diaphragm is important and matters. Now, carbon dioxide and oxygen and that relationship. So carbon dioxide is actually acidic. Oxygen is alkaline. So there are different breathing practices where we can, for example, hyperventilation. We're venting off the carbon dioxide at a greater rate and then taking in plenty of oxygen. So if we vent off a lot of the carbon dioxide and increase the oxygen content, you can actually work to increase the pH of your blood. So Wim Hof does a really great example of this. He activates the sympathetic nervous system and There are lots of different breathing practices that can affect, not only how you feel, but your physiology, and that can be changed through breath work. So if this isn't something that you've looked into, definitely research and work in breath work into your practice of health, and you'll notice a difference. So yeah, look up Wim Hof, the Iceman, and I hope that you had some takeaways from this, and have a great evening.